So we have a report from the county. So if they would like to come up, thank you. Thanks, Rhea.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rhea, and I'm the Director of Equalization. My team I have today is Ray Blakeman, who is our most senior appraiser. We also have Jill Edson, who is here for moral support. She's learning. Can you speak into this?
Yeah, into the mic.
Sure. Sorry, Rhea. Sure.
We're going right. Yep, it's red.
Just trying not to be rude. Jill is here for moral support. She actually just completed a 3-year cycle, which means that she's been through the field work, the assessment, now the tax bills. So we applaud her for that. We have Mike Cooper, who's going to be doing a presentation tonight, and back in the back is John Olson. He's just our big guy here in case anybody gets rowdy. So I shared with Daniel and Faye this afternoon just a little bit of information if they want to pull that up. Probably makes more sense if y'all can read it versus me just shouting numbers at you.
Top left.
Yeah, I hate the power. Didn't work in the last time either.
Yeah.
So you'll see on the left-hand side that the final assessed value in 2021 that you were able to collect taxes on was $510 million. On the right-hand side, you'll see at the very top where we started this assessment cycle at $688 million and some change. Of that, we had about $5.9 million in growth, which is actual new construction, new plats that were put on the tax rolls as of November 1st of 2021. We also did about $61 million in reappraisal. Then we have to make the big negative. We take off about $78 million for exemption programs, tax reductions, veterans exemptions, assessment freezes, etc. So right now we are saying that your preliminary 2022 assessed value before the equalization factor, which is going to be very, very small this year, is $610 million and some change. If you go down and start looking at the sales ratio information, before we did any of our reappraisal projects for 2022, and we compared our 2021 sales to our 2021 assessments, our ratio was at 77.44%. which is not good. Our goal is always to be at between 91 and 92%. However, we made a calculated risk this year, and we did a few smaller adjustments than we would have liked, and our ratio came out to be 86.91 in the city of Sturgis, after our 2022 assessments were compared against the 2021 sales prices. That, in comparison to our county-wide non-ag ratio of 85.31%, shows that we're a little bit higher in Sturgis, but not bad overall. We're trying to stay pretty equal. If you look at the history of the sales prices, you'll see that we are on an upward trend. Keep in mind that a lot of the sales that you see, like in new subdivisions, were not on the tax rolls as of November 1st of 2020, so we did not get to use them in our 21 ratios. So I would actually guess that the overall sales price is higher than the $214,000, but comparing apples to apples from the year before, it's a 14.1% increase. So I'm here for any questions that you may have of me.
Does council have any questions for Rhea?
Yeah, I think it does.
Very good.
So Mike is next. All right. Thank you, Rhea.
You're welcome.
My name is Mike Cooper. I'm an appraiser with Meade County. I've been there. This is my 11th year, and I have 2 appeals for the evening. Well, had 2 appeals. One of them has dropped. So Mark and Chris. Chris is here. She's in the back of the room, so she'd like to come up. How's it going? And here's everything they have that they'll look at that's on there. So. And would you like me to go first on this, or would you like to hear from Chris?
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, last year, Chris was here from the increase that she had. This year she did combine 2 lots, which you guys had her do so she could put up her carport. The increase she's seen was from what you guys just heard, the sales. The market value of everything is going up greatly. If you look at the next page, it shows the comparable sales. Her house would be the subject. Oh, there's the map of the sales. And the sale number 1 is 3 houses down from her. It is a little bit bigger. It is a year newer. It sold for $316,000. We have her at $215,000. The second one is on Paisley. The house is smaller. It is older, and sold for $251,000, which is above her $215,000. Sale 3 is on Douglas, which is just a couple blocks from her. It is an older home. It is much smaller, and it sold for $262,000. And then sale 4, I just put it on there just because it's her next door neighbor. It just sold for $500,000, which to me is crazy. But
Part of that price was negotiated for an antique car and furniture.
no,
Just so you know.
yeah, well, that wasn't on the CV. But anyway, it's not a sale that, I mean, I put it on there just because it's her neighbor. But sale 1 is the best comparable, and it's $100,000 over what she's assessed at.
So the 215 is what it's at now.
That's her assessed value. That's what she's at after she combined the 2 lots and the.
Actually, I'm told that's not combining the 2 lots. That's still separated. Won't be combined until the 2023, apparently.
We have it down for this year. It is the 07R, so it was changed. So
So sorry. Chris, would you like to say some things?
Just that we were told when we did combine the 2 lots that our rate would be dropped because we'd be a single house on 1 lot instead of on 2 lots. And the land value went up. Didn't change any. The house didn't change any. I realize sales that's not my fault. The Californians are moving into town and spending too much money, but we have no updated surfaces. Nothing on the house has changed except for the replatting of the 2 lots and putting up a carport.
What's the percentage of increase from last year?
the percentage increase was 10% on the structure and on the land.
The average this year?
20%, 20 to 25% was the average.
Okay.
So obviously with the appeal, the county's recommendation is to leave assessed value.
My question would be is what, had they not combined the lots? Have you done any comparables about what it would have been if it would have stayed the same? Does that make sense?
As it turns out, they're just under 12,000 square foot, so it's by the square foot, so it wouldn't have changed it at all. It would have been the same value with 1 lot or 2. Because everything that's done in the city was all done on 2 different formulas, one if they had curb and gutter, one if they didn't, per square foot, so there would have been no difference. It just when they platted them together, it was so they could build their carport.
The question about the rate, that was on the separate lot, and so you wanted to ensure that the separate lot would actually be assessed at a lower rate, right? And so that has occurred, correct? Because the school's mill levy on all of the property will be at the lower owner-occupied rate, correct?
Actually, the other one would have been owner-occupied because we'd have had it as contiguous land. So it's
Okay,
under
so
the
they
same
both
owner.
were,
So
they
yeah.
stayed the same.
Yep. So yeah, there's.
Had to go through the process.
Yep.
I guess my feeling is this is never easy, and I know with my own property tax, I think it's gone up more than 10%. But considering that most has gone up 20 to 25%, I don't feel the 10% increase, considering the raise in prices throughout the town, is unreasonable. I know it's a hit, but I don't look at it as being unreasonable.
It went up a fair amount last year as well, and we were told that was because the city hadn't done any reappraisals or reassessments for 6 to 8 years. Mm-hmm. So we already went through an appraisal. Now apparently they're being done every year for reassessments.
The actual door-to-door reappraisal is what we did last year, and they did see an increase. This was a market factor that was done throughout the city of Sturgis. I don't know of an area in Sturgis that didn't see a factor this year. Just trying to keep up with the market. No. The state of our Department of Revenue requires we're at a minimum of 85%. That's what we ended up at this year. So we had to increase everything to get to the minimum of what DOR would allow us to be.
When you say increase everything, you mean increase the amount of inspections?
No, we increased the amount of the value on everything in the city of Sturgis. Okay. And like Rhea had said earlier, we're at 86%, and we're required to be at a minimum of 85. So we barely made it to what they require, but we're hoping that the market will slow down.
When you say that, Mike, that's a true market value, right? 85% of true market value?
Correct.
I guess I would make a motion to go ahead and go with the recommendation and with the rate that has been set.
So, okay, we have a first by Dave, a second by Terry. Is there any last discussion or questions for Chris or Mike? Do we need to? No. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Mike.
So then they got two more that have recommendations. I think Ray must have those.
Who does?
I think Ray has them.
Oh, Ray? Okay, so Ray Blakeman, thank you.
Okay, I simply have a recommendation. Mr. Standen, they had sent in a letter stating that their basement was not finished. I did do a personal inspection of the property. They do have basement finish, but not what I had estimated. So my recommendation is to remove the value that does not exist there, and see if I can. So it would be taking the home value from $399,719 to $353,313 for an overall land value of $389. Sorry, my contacts are bifocals are not working. $389,563.
Obviously, the resident is okay with the recommendation.
They are. If you, we do send this form out to them, and he signed the bottom of it and returned it to Fayette, the city.
Well, I'd move to approve the recommendation from the county.
Okay. Second. All right, we have a first by Mayor, second by Dean. Any final questions or comments? Okay, so everyone in favor of this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it? Okay.
Do we have one more?
They
They withdrew. Yep. Okay.
So
the third one withdrew.
So we have to have a motion.
Second one withdrew.
Oh, second one withdrew. Thank you. And so now we need a motion to close the as Board of Equalization.
I'll make a motion.
First by Aaron.
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor of closing, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We're now closed as the Board of Equalization. Thank you so much. Thank you, County, for coming in. Thank you, Terry.
Hang out. There's county business coming up later on the agenda. That's good. That's a lot easier, Rita.